Well, it's time for the Tikkun elevator kollel to get us into, a deeper space. This is Jewish Astrology, a Cosmic Science by Reb Yaakov Kronenberg. Yesterday, I came up and I showed you an example of a birth chart. Now, the different symbols in the birth chart, all of these symbols in the middle here, are the names of houses, because these 12, this is a 360-degree circle, which is the same thing as our Earth, and the same thing that has to do with all the circular movements in the world. Remember that the Kabbalists refer to this is the world of wheels. Imagine what the world would be like without a wheel. So this is the world of wheels, everything going around in a cycle. That's part of the Kabbalistic concept called Malchus. Now, in order to understand this, really, these different symbols are academic in the sense that you can learn them or get a chart on them from the internet, so that you can understand the names of them. Now, the qualities of what's in it and the combinations that they can make are really what's the most important part. That takes study, and I'm not that good at it. So I'm going to take what Reb Yaakov said previously yesterday in this chart of what he called the concept of squaring the circle. Now, there's so many things I could say about this, and I'm in a very, I know some fundamental things about the birth chart, but really what the combinations are, I'm going to try to learn those things. So here we have a birth chart, and according to Reb Yaakov, the Jewish astrology begins with your rising sign. Now, the only way you can find your rising sign is by knowing what time you were born. So if you know the moment of the moment that you were born, that will give you, the rising sign is also known as the ascendant. This would be, so for example, right here, this rising sign is Aquarius. This is the symbol for Aquarius. So that's the house of Aquarius. And this person was born with the constellation of Aquarius overhead. This is like a 24-hour clock. Each one of them is 30 degrees, 30 into 360 makes 12. So there are 12 houses. Each one of them has what they call 30 degrees. So inside of the houses, you see this is the beginning house. This is the place where this person's life began. So he said to us, and so let's just go around. This is the first house, which is Aquarius. This is the symbol for Pisces. The second house is Pisces. Now, Aquarius is an air sign. People that talk, people who communicate, begins to vary into communication, sometimes a little contrary type of people a little bit different. But people with ideas and speaking are part of this air sign. This is, the next sign is called Pisces. Pisces is a water sign. So you go air sign, water sign. The next sign this is the sign of Aries. Aries is the first sign really of the zodiac of the chart of Adam Rishon, which we're not at that point right now. So then we've gone air, water, fire, and then the next one is going to be Taurus, which is an earth sign. And it goes around like that, around the entire zodiac. That's the zodiac. So let's say like this, I'll try, so we could try to understand just a little bit more about birth charts. If you count 1, 2, 3, then you'll see every third will be a compatible sign. Now, what does that mean? That means here we have Aquarius. Aquarius is air. What goes with air, which is not air? Fire. So air and fire. Air feeds the fire. And the air needs the fire because it needs to feed in. That's part of what it does. The next one, though, in between that, air and water have really no compatibility. Same thing with this is Pisces, which is a water sign. The same thing is true of Aries. Water and fire don't mix. So these are what we say but conflicting signs. Depends on how they work out, because our lives are not just smooth little highways where we just glide on cruise control. We have conflicts in our lives, and the birth chart will show you those conflicts, and it will show you also the pattern or the direction that you need to take in your life to try to improve these conflicts. Now let's go on a little bit more. So you have Aries, air sign, water sign, fire sign, and the next one is Taurus, which is an earth sign. So air and earth, they really have nothing to do with each other. Air is up above the earth and earth is down below. They don't mix. But on the other hand, if you took Pisces, which is a water sign, and you mixed it with Taurus, which is an earth sign, so the earth can become fertile as a result. With no water, it's no good. Now let's do something else. Now, in astrology books, there are a lot of astrology books will tell you the nature of Taurus. So in the chart of Adam Arishon, Taurus is the second sign. Now we're not at that place. I guess it's not in Reb Yaakov's book. What he's talking about now is squaring the circle. What's a square? So a square is every 90 degrees. So here's 1, 2, 3. The fourth house is a square. Squares are conflicts. So here you have Aquarius. This is an Aquarius, whose sun, this is the symbol for the sun, is in Taurus. So when somebody says, what's your sign? Everybody answers, it's going to be the sun sign. But in fact, it's not the sun sign. In fact, it's really the rising sign. In order to be able to understand the person, you have to know where he started. Now, the sun shines on that, but these two are in conflict because air and earth just don't have anything in common. So therefore, this could be a little difficult working situation. Now, let's see what he said like this. He said, look, I'll finish off that thought. However, if you take air and you take Aries, that's Aquarius and Aries, again, as I said before, this is air sign, this is fire sign, they do go together. The same thing is true of water and earth. So we get these ideas about you have earth, air, fire, and water. Now, on the Kabbalistic side, we have the names of, I just didn't write it down because my memory real quick off the bat is not that good. It's not that bad either, but there are angels that are associated with each one of the fundamental signs. So if you have air, there's an angel that's involved with air. There's an angel for water. There's an angel for fire, and there's an angel for earth. All of these go together in different kinds of combinations. That's in Kabbalah, but that's not what we're talking about. So let's see what he said yesterday. So yesterday he said was squaring the circle. So here you have a person who is a speaker. Let's just say, for example, a speaker, an orator, because that's what Aquarius does. Aquarius likes to talk. So here's Aquarius. Now he says, count 10 from Aquarius. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I apologize if sometimes I don't count right. But here, this is the sign for Scorpio. So he said that if you look at the 10th house is where a person's money will be made. So some relationship between Aquarius and Scorpio. Scorpio is another water sign. These things don't go together really easily. So that's where the money is going to be in Scorpio. Then he says, okay, keep counting. Count another 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the sign for Leo. So Aquarius is directly opposite Leo, and this is the place of a person's mate. So you have in this particular person's chart, and listen, I'm repeating what I heard. I'm trying to understand it using this technique. So in this particular person's chart, their money will be found in Scorpio. On the other hand, their spouse will be found in Leo. Now, Leo is just interesting. I always think it's cute for those of us who are married, and we know there's lots of conflicts in marriage. So in astrology, the opposite, which is the first house versus the 7th house, which is Leo, are in conflict. So that's, they say, your open enemies are considered to be your spouse. So anyway, so now we got over here, and this is going to be your spouse. So now we have your career, we have your spouse, and then we're going to count another 10. So he says, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is the 4th house. The 4th house is the house of the home. So you see what's in the home. The home here in this case is Scorpio and Mercury, which is the sign of mental agility. People who are just plain smart. They have lots of different ideas. It depends on where you find this. But this is a little bit of an idea, a little bit of a background that we're going to need as we go forward to be able to understand the logic. So just repeating once again, count 10 from where you start. This is your start in life. It's just like, life was like bullets shot out of a cannon. We're on our way. And so where are we going to see where this person going to make money? It's going to be something in relationship to Scorpio. Where's the person's spouse going to be found? It's going to be someone in the relationship in this chart of Leo. And over here, let's see, where is it? We're going to count around. I'm going to come back over here to the 4th house, which is the house of home and family. You're going to see there's a lot going on over there because there's 2 planets in that house. At any rate, that's our another shot at trying to understand the birth chart. This is Baruch Fleischman.